Now it's time to press buttons and talk with Manky and ProZD.
Okay.
Alright, Miles Edgeworth. Prove Francisca's innocent with a single
I will,
piece.
old man. Fine then. Let's see this piece of evidence that will show me this other route. This piece of evidence will show us another way to move between the two countries.
Well, I guess
I'll show you this, even though I showed you it before.
Photograph, even though it was 100% plausible before.
Agent Lang, I'm sure you are familiar with this unforgettable photo. That supernatural photo, like I said before. Humans can't fly. No, of course not. I understand that perfectly well.
I'm tired of you non-believers.
And don't start claiming that Sheena somehow grew wings either. I wouldn't dream of claiming that. And I won't allow you to take back what you said either. I'll say it again. It's not humanly possible to fly through the air without wings. I know, stupid. So you'd better have a good explanation for this, Mr. Prosecutor.
Why would we have
Because the only way you can do it is flying. Arrgh! But how can I prove who it was that flew through the air in this photo? Wait. Not humanly possible.
I wasn't a human.
Eureka! In my mind. Very well. You will have your explanation. It sounds like you have a good idea simmering inside that head of yours. Maybe even a eureka. Let's hear it. The face hidden within this photo's blurry, trailed shadow is...
I feel like it's one of the statues.
So, thinking back, it would have to be this one, yes.
The alabaster statue.
Yes.
Okay.
Was it this statue?
Naturally, the shadow is the third smuggled object, the Primaduck statue replica. You can't be serious. The Yatagarasu, or rather, Callisto Yu, dressed as Agent Sheena, was inside Babal. She dressed the replica statue up in clothes and launched it through the air.
It's fun.
Not so fast! Ha! Mr. Prosecutor! You left out a very crucial bit in your explanation. I know I did. She launched it through the air. Ha! And how exactly did she do that?
Are we doing animal shit now?
He is literally burying his fangs at me. But he has a point. How exactly did it move through the air like that?
I could fly if I could turn into a crow.
As long as this remains unsolved, we won't be able to move any closer to the truth.
I mean a raven.
Which reminds me, didn't he say this earlier?
Hey sis, I remember that just before Master Allo went to give his speech. He called you into his office, right?
So just before the murder, Francisca was called here, right into this very room. If that's the case, then that may be another avenue I can pursue. Agent Lang, in order for me to answer that question, I will need to hear testimony from Ms. Von Karma.
There's no Mr. Von Karma. I don't need a man. Ah!
Oh? What are you up to now, pretty boy? Earlier you mentioned something of interest to me. You said that just before the murder occurred, Ms. Von Karma had been in this room because Ambassador Alba had called for her. And for that reason alone, you believe her to be the killer. Yeah, I guess I did say something like that.
Say a lot of shit.
In that case, I believe it is my duty to ask her what her side of the story is. Ha! Do you really think a criminal would tell us the honest truth? Well, Sheena did for like 20 minutes.
Yeah, you believed her for a very long time. How dare you? Is this just like it happened to Sheena, so he's like, fuck you, I'm gonna try that on your friend.
Yeah, maybe, yeah, you know what? I'm not the only one who fucked up. You fucked up.
As I've said numerous times, there is absolutely no proof that I am the killer.
You're not wrong, but...
Miles Edgeworth, don't tell me you suspect me too.
I don't.
This is stupid.
It is. However, I can't ignore the fact that you were in this room at one point in time.
We don't have to make this a whole big thing.
Which is why I would like to hear about your movements in this room. Francisca, I feel that I still don't have enough information, which is why your testimony is incredibly important to the outcome of this case.
All right. So, what would you like me to talk about? What I had for fucking lunch?
I'd like you to please testify to your movements in this room until the murder occurred. Alright, let's try this your way for a change, instead of just blindly arresting people. But if what she has to say turns out to be a waste of time, I'm gonna piss on you. I'll place her under arrest faster than you can howl, "No!" As you wish. Thank you for countering,
I
King.
got excited. Crows and wolves are always fighting each other.
Sorry, I thought I'd
No,
try.
don't be a kitty cat.
I'm sorry.
I mean, I guess that's pretty fitting. I don't know what animal you'd be. As I said earlier, I was assigned to guard duty in the Alabastian embassy. After I saw the steel samurai off on his way towards the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation. After all the preparations were in place, I was called back to by Ambassador Alba to his office.
Cool.
When I'm on screen, it's harder to read the text. My clothes
blend in.
are pretty white.
Francisca, I want us to make this clear as the words on my screen from the very beginning. So what I wish to confirm is that the only time span in which you were in this office was before the murder occurred. Is that correct?
Yes, of course.
I see. Cool. For now, the only way that I can see for us to break out of this situation is to ask Francisca about her testimony in more detail.
Kind of like everything
Pressing
else we do.
or bubble.
A person? Let's see. I was assigned to guard duty in Alabastian embassy. After I saw the steel samurai off on his way to the ambassador's office, I returned to the Rose Garden for a bit and checked up on the security situation.
these.
After all the preparations, I was called back by Ambassador Alba.
Hold it!
The heck did he want?
At that time, Damask II's body had yet to be found in this room. Is that correct?
That's right. But Ambassador Alba was here. One could hardly miss his rather large presence.
That's mean.
What the fuck does that mean? That's fucking rude.
A criminal will say anything to get out of getting arrested. How do we know you're not lying?
Well, if you need proof, I'll be happy to oblige you.
Seriously?
Like I keep telling you, when I arrived at this office, Ambassador Alba was already here. He was standing by the flower box on the windowsill, watering his plants.
I can attest to that.
By the way, I'm not large. I'm actually very old and crumbly and skinny.
But I can say that I've lost a lot of weight. I'm pretty much just a skeleton.
I do weigh 2 pounds.
I'm a skeleton with a skin suit draped over it, basically. It's really gross. The doctors say I'm a medical anomaly.
You can see my heart beating.
I remember speaking with a lovely lady around that time here in my office.
Whenever I swallow a gumball, you can watch the gumball go through my body. I'm that skinny.
And it drops right out of the rectum. There's no digestion.
I'm like a big gumball machine made of skeleton.
What? I hate that.
I want to see that. Does anyone have a gumball?
All right, then. Add not your statement. Add that statement to your testimony, and let's hear some details.
Okay, I am a skeleton and you can see my heart beating.
People come to our country from all over to see the miraculous
When I
Gumball
swallow
Man.
a gumball.
So Ambassador Alba was in this room at the time, was he?
When I swallow a gumball. Like that's his famous part of it.
It's our biggest tourism is to see the old man swallow
look
a
at the
gumball.
gumball.
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
Instead of a national anthem, I just swallow a gumball and they watch it
We
go.
just play the recording, the gumball bouncing around my ribs and on my bones and through down
It
the
makes a
rectum.
quite percussive sound.
2 large flowers in bloom. This isn't contradictory or anything, is it?
Go look at the, what's the statement?
When I arrived, Ambassador Alba was watering the flowers on the windowsill.
You got the new information.
It's true.
Because nothing contradicts it necessarily. Hold it! For the sake of being thorough, I'd like to ask you something. Henry David Thoreau, how did you know that Ambassador Alba was watering his plants at the windowsill?
What do you mean by that?
I heard it's a gumball.
I have
The
eyeballs.
entrance to this room is on this side. However, the window is on the opposite side. If what you say is true, then when you entered the room, his body would have been like a wall.
Wow.
He would have been blocking your view
Okay, I'm not that fucking big,
of what
guys.
he was doing. Isn't that not correct?
I suppose it was a bit hard to see around his gargantuan
Like
skeleton
the Great
body.
Wall of China, more like. Does it exist in this? Probably, yes.
I'm not that. I'm like the smallest one here.
But fortunately for me, Ambassador Alba is not an immovable wall. He's very easy to move. He weighs like 10 pounds.
2 pounds.
Well,
To be clear,
I knocked before I entered, and as I did, he turned around to greet me, and with a watering can in his hand. So it's only natural to believe he was watering his plants, right?
I suppose.
After his greeting, we spent a little time talking about his flowers. He had obtained them himself and is growing them with the utmost care, you know.
Yes. The plants in this room, they are all like my children. I turned my children into plants with a curse.
The passion flowers.
What? Okay.
But that's a joke, right? I'm going to assume that's not real. In the flower box on the windowsill are growing beautifully too. All 4 of them are in full bloom.
Huh. Ms. Von Karma, what did you say just now?
All 4, I said that the flowers are growing beautifully.
No.
What about that statement do you not understand?
That's not what you
All
said.
4 flowers.
What do I not understand? I do not understand why a certain thing is the way it is.
That's the most vague thing anyone's ever thought.
I'd like for you to append that statement to your testimony.
Why are certain things the way they are? Very well.
Why are you the way that you are?
I don't know. Because
Honestly,
I'm
every
great.
time I try to
I'm
get
just
through
great.
testimony
Oh, why are there only
and make it
2
informative,
flowers?
you make it not that way.
There's only 2 flowers. Why?
Francisca, for some odd reason, your testimony contradicts with this piece of evidence.
It does appear that way.
Ha! I knew it.
I ate 2 of the flowers.
I knew we couldn't trust your words, sis.
They knew too much.
Mr. Edgeworth, what are you doing discrediting Miss Von Karma like this? She's your friend.
Yes, sir. Bitch, you keep this up, she's gonna get taken away, bitch.
Yeah, bitch.
Eek!
All I've done is state what I saw. I have made not a single mistake in my testimony. And for this, I am still under suspicion for murder. Is the number of flowers really all that important at this juncture, Miles?
At the very least, it is a contradiction in this enigmatic case. One that I will find hard to dismiss as irrelevant. Ha! Let's hear it, Mr. Prosecutor. What does the number of flowers have to do with anything? What does it prove? I believe the answer to that will become clear if we were to examine that flower box. How did this contradiction come about? There must be something behind this discrepancy.
Wasn't there something that had soil on it?
They're my beloved flowers. I've grown them with the utmost care. So I ask that you please be gentle with them as you examine them, Mr. Edgeworth.
As they are my former children.
I understand half of that.
I put their ashes in the soil and grow the flowers from them. They scream at night.
Well, why was it like blacking out? It's weird.
Yeah,
I
that's
won't
strange.
rest until I've inspected every suspicious looking nook and cranny. This patch of soil looks as though it has had something removed from it.
Like a flower.
What are you doing, Mr. Prosecutor? Investigating. Why'd you clam up all of a sudden? I'm still here waiting for an explanation, you know.
This is like elementary school shit. How can he not piece together?
Did you know, Agent Lang, flowers are best appreciated in silence? Good one. Damn. It looks like 2 things were pulled out of this flower box.
Okay. What's the watering
This
can?
watering can is a rather robust design.
Mr. Edgeworth, why are you telling us about stuff we can clearly see for ourselves? Plus, if you keep wasting time talking about that, Miss Von Karma's gonna get arrested.
Ugh, I better examine something else quickly and fast.
I'm not in any danger. There is no case against me.
The name of these flowers, I believe they're called passion flowers. Despite being called flowers, Easy just apparently has all the time in the world. They're actually a
guess.
species of vine. They appear to be growing well and are well supported by these plant supports.
Fucking good at plants.
Yeah, but no matter how I look at it, it looks like there are only 2 here for me. To me. You realize, don't you, sis? Your little lie has failed you.
Miles Edgeworth, hurry up and shut this man up for me already. Stop talking about the fucking can and the name of the flowers.
I suppose I will need to use some evidence to shut him up, won't I? I do have evidence.
Sure.
Batch.
We got a thing with soil on it.
I believe I have just the piece of evidence you require. Oh, you do you? You have such confidence in the face of your current plight, but I highly doubt it'll last until the end. You howl like a wolf, Agent Lang. But we'll see if you have any bite to back up that bark after you see the evidence. The truth the passion flowers reveal can be seen in this piece of evidence.
What did we just get?
We got the
Oh, the
hair
hair
sticks covered in
There's some dirt on the
hair
tips.
sticks.
Take that! Shinan, who was supposedly in Babal the entire time, had these hair sticks on her. They look exactly like the plant supports in this flower box. In other words, I believe it can be said that these hair sticks are in actuality support sticks for the passion flowers. Ha! And so what? Is this really all that important to the case?
Maybe next time we'll find out if it's important to the case.
Turns out they're not.